all creativity requires some degree of constraints. Constraints make the mind work harder and smarter.
Yep.
So constraints of time, money, scope. But there's another principle that's even more important. It has a kind of a strange name. I'll call it the principle of the closed world. And all that means, Jess, is this. When you are about to ideate something, you're about to generate ideas, put a firm and clear imaginary boundary around it. That creates an even tighter constraint. And here's what it does. When you create that closed world, what's been shown by our colleagues actually is that when you generate ideas and harness all the resources inside that closed world, it's going to be more creative than if you have to go far away to get a solution and bring it in. Now, all that to say this. Let's say you've been asked by a client and they are, I'll just make this up. Let's say it's the city of Cincinnati wants to promote the public libraries.
Sure.
All right. And so for you, what that would mean is you would want to zoom down. Think of the closed world as sort of the aperture on a camera.
Okay.
You can zoom in, you can zoom far back, and you want to zoom in real closely. And here's why. You want to get down to, I'll make this up, but what if it's one aisle in a library? Let's say the fiction aisle between the letters J and K.
That's pretty narrow.
That's pretty narrow, right?
Pretty narrow, yeah.
And here's the beauty of that. When you restrict yourself and say, we got to promote just this one aisle, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But if the team just focused on that aisle and thought about ideas for it, then what it does is those ideas take life, and then you work from the inside out as opposed to looking at every library in Cincinnati. It's amazing how it works, but get down to that one aisle, and you will generate more and higher quality ideas. Then you can go to another aisle or another part of the library, the reference desk, or it's funny I use libraries, right? In this day of the internet, but
but still
that's a typical.
It's a great example, and I also feel like too, even thinking about. I personally think a lot of people go straight to what are the competitors doing. So you're actually even saying the opposite of that, like get more narrow focus in on what it is that client is doing, and to your point, getting even more specific as you possibly can. Then you kind of build it out from there.
You build it out from there.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to rediscover your own story, please connect with us at any of the links below. My name is Jessie Heron. Thanks for taking a break with me.